if you are a retired Fed and you're thinking about going back to work, or maybe you haven't retired yet and you're thinking about, hey, I may want to work in retirement, what should you be thinking about? Because some benefits are not impacted at all when you work, but some certainly are. So let's make sure that you can work as much as you'd like without messing up your federal benefits. Now, if you're new to the channel, so good to have you. My name is Dallin Hoswell, financial planner. I help feds with this stuff all day long, and I love it. Let's talk about it. Let's start with your TSP. Does getting a job in retirement as a federal employee impact your TSP in a negative way? The answer is no, not really, other than if you are drawing from TSP and you're working a job with a high salary, but the tax rate that you're at may be higher than normal, but that's just normal stuff for having just higher income, right? But other than that, TSP is really not impacted. And if you're working, you probably don't need to take withdrawals from TSP. So generally speaking, TSP not impacted. Next, your pension. You're getting that pension, that monthly check for the rest of your life from the federal government. Is it impacted if you go get a job? The answer is no, it's not. Now, if you go back to work for the federal government, then yeah, your pension potentially can be impacted depending on how you're hired. Sometimes they'll take it away and you'll just be a basic an employee again, and then it'll get recalculated and be bigger when you retire. There's different ways you can be rehired. You can check that out. But if you're just working in the private sector, then no. Your pension is not impacted at all. It will never be reduced. You'll get that for the rest of your life, no problem. But these two right here, if you work in retirement, potentially are impacted. Let me explain. The FERS supplement or the annuity supplement, the Social Security supplement, they're all different names for the same thing. Let's talk about your supplement. If you're not familiar with what that is, if you retire before 62, then you can get the supplement, at least as of today. The supplement may get cut in a future bill, but we'll see. But as of today, many people have the supplement. And most people get it if they retire between 57 and 62. If you're a special provision Fed or, special provision, then you can get it earlier. Long story short, though, the supplement has what they call an earnings test, which means if you make this year, it's about $23,000. Basically, if you make more than about $23,000, they'll start taking back some of the supplement. So inversely, if you make less than $23,000, they're not going to touch your supplement. So if you make $20,000 in a part-time job, no problem. You can get your full FERS supplement, no problem at all. However, again, the moment you start going over that limit, the rule is for every $2 you go over the limit, your supplement's reduced by $1. So if you make $10,000 over the limit, if you make $20,000 or $33,000, $10,000 over, then your supplement would be reduced by $5,000 that next year. So yes, working. So long story, if you're making $50,000 to $70,000 somewhere, your supplement, depending on how big it is for you, is probably reduced down to zero. So yes, the supplement will in fact be affected. And by the way, the supplement can come back later. If, for example, let's say at between 57 and 58, you're working, and so the supplement goes away for a year, but then let's say you stop working. Once they know you stopped working, then yes, it can come back, and you can get it until 62. That's how the supplement works. So long story short, just keep that in mind so you know, hey, is it worth it to go back to work and make a bunch of money? What about Social Security? Social Security actually has the same exact earnings test as the supplement between 62 and 67. After 67, so 67 plus, there's no earnings test anymore. So you could make $1 million a year and you would still get Social Security at that point. All right. However, between 62 and 67, if you are still working and you chose to draw Social Security, then yes, there's the earnings test where if you make more than that $23,000, then they will start reducing your Social Security. So generally speaking, if you're planning to be working any significant amount above $23,000, probably just don't start Social Security yet so that it doesn't impact you. If you're going to retire, let's say at 65, let's say you retired from the government at 62, but you're working a different job between 62 and 65, just don't start Social Security yet. Just wait until you're done, and then you can think about Social Security after that point so that your benefits, your Social Security, would not be impacted. So those are the things to consider, and obviously the one that impacts everything is whenever you make more money, yes, your tax rate goes up, but it still means you have more money overall. Okay, so generally speaking, working still means you're financially better off. You just want to make sure you understand the ramifications of all your decisions. So I hope that's helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video.